have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once. I am one of those. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is either Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI DEFF DECVDE DACAT, MEXC, Bloomsbury Money, Midnight Cardano update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. We got a little bit to go over here today. The big thing is MEXC going under. Where the heck did I even get the screenshot from? This is from, I should be a little more prepared than this, but I was just a bunch of groceries needed putting away. And then I had a really nice back crack, and the back crack was great. Yeah, what up, Kuma? How's it going, fam? Hung out on this, not sensory deprivation, this inversion table, and just stretches you out. Oh, bro, it feels so good. Okay, so it was from Crypto News. They announced that temporary suspension of services for existing users in India as part of our registration process with the Financial Intelligence Unit, India, FIUIND. MEXC will temporarily suspend services for users in India starting February 28th, 2026. From the effective date, access to MEXC products and services from India will be restricted. And listen, MEXC has had some issues. They're being very shady. They've been doing shady stuff for like a year. I do not believe they survive the rest of this year. If I had, like, let's say for DeCat, I would not want to go on MEXC. They could give us a free listing where all we'd have to do is just send them tokens, and I would not do it. I would be like, nah, fam, we're good. We don't need to go on there, because again, like if they fail and they go in and just say like, hey, we need to sell, or like the funds are lost, and then they need to sell stuff in order to pay the debtors. Fam, ain't doing that. So we do have OMI, DEFFDE, and DEVVE all on MEXC. So this is a pretty big news for them. What's really weird is we'll start off with DEFFDE. So DEFFDE is having a pretty good day. It's up about 7%, almost 8% on the day. So that's pretty nice. They've been a lot of the buys here. Well, actually, it's this one guy just buying like $150, $200 over and over again. I don't know if he's okay, so this guy's definitely a follower because he has Fias, he has DEVVE, and DEFFDE. And multi-chain. So it's funded by Coinbase. So it looks like he's just sending tokens from, well, let me see if he's selling from DEVVE here. Because sometimes people do that. They swap out of one into the other. And you know what? Fair point. Yeah, it's the same wallet. So what the guy's doing is that particular address there, selling, $150, $200 worth of DEVVE at a time. And then he's using that to purchase DEFFDE. And he's got $300 left of DEVVE. So he's got like 1,900 DEVVE tokens. So we might see a couple more buys. Again, it's just a couple $100 worth, so it's not a lot. But again, that's all it takes. Like we're at 4K in volume. This is very, very low. And I want to take you to, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. I want to take you to CoinGecko here real quick. So on CoinGecko, it actually only shows 5.5% on CoinGecko. But we had a wicked spike the other day. It doesn't even show on here, but we had $36,000 in volume. I'll show you where the spike was. Yeah, you even see it. It was actually on like the 15th at like, and we spiked all the way up to 2.1. So that was a wicked like God candle over there. It wasn't really that much. It was just like a $9,000 buy order. So again, it wasn't that much. And we've been slowly getting more liquidity. I don't know if that's the DEFFDE team adding it or if it's just because of the volume that we have, but slowly getting more liquidity. But again, still only 94,000. It is split very evenly between DEFINITY and Ethereum. But for a $2.7 million market cap, we really would like to see a couple $100,000 in liquidity there. I would just go off of, just take it off of MEXC and add it there, because I mean, you have people that are like, that are just a bunch of haters. Like, how are you feeling about DEFINITY today? And they're legit voting it down, even though it's up, you know, like almost 8% on the day. That being said, when you take a look at the other exchanges where you can get it on, it doesn't show MEXC. So it doesn't do it there, and it doesn't show it on CoinMarketCap either. So again, it's just something that, like, why even have the exchange if nobody knows you can get it on there? They're doing very shady things in general. So that's how I think it would affect DEFINITY. I would advise DEFINITY to like get off of MEXC and just add that liquidity into into the Uniswap pool. And they could do it. They could do a couple different ways. Shit. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, the liquidity generation protocol, you could just add it, like as it goes up, you could just add more. So it wouldn't even cost them that much ETH, or really any ETH if that was the case. Anyway, I got Booth saying, yo, Bill, Nye the Science Guy. Bill. Yeah, so that's what's up with MEXC. So if you have any tokens on there or anything on there, I would not use it for anything. We'll get to more how it affects DEVVE and OMI in a minute. Right now, I want to stick with DEFINITY. Why are we up almost 8%? What's going on here? Pretty much news broke 2 nights ago. I got to break the news. It was great. It broke 2 nights ago that so Charles Hoskinson. Actually, let me go to shit. Can we like please have to go to the groups that we're in? Oh my god, we're in so many groups together. Okay. Manu had sent me this. Oh, did he send it private? Oh, maybe he did. Fuck. Okay. Give me 1 sec here. Where the heck did he send this? Oh, he sent it in actual. I don't know if he sent it in the actual DEFINITY Telegram. Basically, long story short, if you go to the Midnight Foundation, over on LinkedIn, and you look at their posts, they had reposted. Where is it? They had reposted Liquidity Finder. And if you take a look at Liquidity Finder, it says like, oh, Midnight Foundation reposted it. What is it? It's Midnight Foundation Bloomsbury Money. If you go and like Charles Hoskinson, who's the founder of Cardano, he made the Midnight Foundation and the Midnight token, or Night, NIGHT, just for privacy. He had a couple of, apparently he had mentioned Bloomsbury on a podcast today. I could not find a link to the podcast, but what he's talking about with this is like everything's going to be private. They want to have everything. They just want you to have privacy, which is great. Freaking love that guy. They airdropped the Midnight tokens to the Cardano holder, and it's got like $1 billion market cap. So there's something I want to show you guys from Bleaves. Bleaves Crypto actually posted.
I just found something that's probably your next big investment. First of all, I'm going to show you Cardano.
Go subscribe to him.
Sitting at a $14 billion market cap. Then let me introduce you to Midnight. Midnight is the privacy data-based blockchain that Charles Hoskinson has also founded, currently sitting at a $1.05 billion market cap. Now, an announcement just came out from Bloomsbury Money that Midnight Foundation has selected Bloomsbury Money for Forex and cross-border transfers and e-money solutions. Guys, that is a tiny micro cap, just introducing a partnership for a $14 billion and $1 billion crypto. And the news has not yet been reported on the Midnight website. When it's reported over here, I think that this project is going to go absolutely crazy. And this is DEFINITY, currently sitting at only a $2.5 million market cap. I could really see this going to 25 or a $50 million market cap. if in fact this is confirmed, and that's an easy 10 or 20x. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Folks, this is a big opportunity right now.
So he's obviously very bullish. Believes me and him have been buddies for like a year plus. He's a cool dude. We found each other through DeVe. And he's just a cool dude. And yeah, when he learned about this, like he's like, hey, like you said this on your stream, but you know, I don't like, I'm not seeing it anywhere. So it was on Yahoo. Like it was on like the Bloomsbury Money website. But then it was on like Yahoo Finance. It's like 12 other places like picked it up. And again, Midnight going in and reposting that over on their LinkedIn, I think was really cool. I'm not sure who Liquidity Finder is, but they say Midnight Foundation and Bloomsbury Money have announced an exclusive partnership for foreign exchange, cross-border payments, and employee debit card services. Fahmi Syed, who's the president of the Midnight Foundation, says we have a global team building the future of real-world privacy, and we need partners who understand our needs and direction. Bloomsbury Money understands our industry. They support us with the speed and reliability we need to pay our people and vendors. And they also understand the power of Midnight and how our network will provide rational privacy to all stablecoin transactions as part of their Midnight integration. Michael Sawick of Bloomsbury Money says, we built Bloomsbury to help businesses that are pushing boundaries. Midnight is doing critical work in data privacy. We're proud to provide the payment infrastructure that lets them focus on their technology with smart compliance, knowing their financial operations are compliant and secure. The partnership centers on what both organizations call smart compliance, combining rapid cross-border payment capabilities with rigorous regulatory standards and transaction monitoring. So again, absolutely love this. And it's like, okay, well, what does Bloomsbury Money have to do with Definity? Why did he mention Definity? The founders of Bloomsbury Money are the same as the founders as DMA Link. Manu Chowdhury has founded both of them. Now, DMA Link is the issuer of the Definity token, and Bloomsbury Money has Definity token as their main utility token for the bank that I guarantee you is worth well into the 9 figures. And maybe if they raise money this year, you know, maybe it could be 10 figures. I don't know. We'll see. Possibility. And yeah, the Definity token at a $2.5 million market cap makes no sense. I'm going to get more. I don't know when, but soon I will get more. I'll keep y'all posted. Anyway, BB Zombie saying, yo, what's going on? How's it going, Zombie? Boo saying, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. C. King says, hey, Randy, thoughts on VeVe dramatically slowing down their drop releases? What do you think will become at the end of the year? Yeah, they have been. There hasn't been, and I'm not 100% sure why, because they, to my knowledge, they could have drops like the next couple years planned. So yeah, 1, 2, like again, like comic books. How much did this do? I don't think a lot. 425 times 7. So they made about $3,000 with that comic. Okay, I'm not going to include comics on here because that like Valkyrie is Jane Foster. I actually want to read. But I'll pick it up in the it was 351 of these. That's even less. It's $2,500. So again, the comics they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I made like 150. So yeah, they actually haven't had. They haven't really had many drops. There was really the only significant one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Excuse me. I'm not. Give me one sec here. Oh my gosh. Oh, peace. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is ridiculous. All right, I guess I got to go over this too. Listen, you have this guy named Goldie Boy that apparently has a billion OMI. And he was very upset at VeVe last year and said he was going to sell. So I offered to do an OTC deal with him, with me and a couple of high net worth individuals. We were going to buy his billion OMI And he said no, he wants to wait until when David's announcement comes out. And sorry, I got a text message from a friend, and that's am I Filbert from, oh my gosh, Rocco's Modern Life? Oh my gosh, I can't type today. I really can't type. Am I having a stroke? Rocco's Modern Life? Because there's always time for safety. I don't think anyone's going to get that reference. Long story short, there's an episode of Rocco's Modern Life where they had like this race that they're like drag racing. And then as they're like in the middle of the race, Filbert's just like, okay, tire pressure, check, you know, windshield wiper fluid, check. And Rocco's like, is all this necessary in the middle of the race? And Filbert's like, please, Rocco, there's always time for safety. I'm good. Anyway, I don't, oh, Jesus, man. Anyway, so Goldie comes in, and I offered to buy his OMI, and he said, let's see what David's announcement is first. I said, okay, no problem. I don't know if he still has any OMI, but he had a pretty decent collection, and now he's got nothing. I can't see. It says literally one collectible, and I don't know if he's really just disconnected, because I think he sold most of these for gems, and I don't know if he knows that you can't cash out of gems. So no negative pressure on the token. Yeah. He's ranked 60. He was a big VeVe bull for a while, and again, I think he's got like 1 billion OMI, unless he sold some. So it's possible that either, again, I can do an OTC deal with him, but I don't think he would do that, because, you know, I'd want a discount. I wouldn't want to go in and buy, let's say 500 million, and then just for him to dump the rest on the market. I was like, okay, at that point, just dump it cheaper, and then I'll just get it on the market. So you might see some volatility with that, unless you have someone come in and just do a big OTC deal, in which case, you know, possible that happens as well. But yeah, just that could be an impact to the token if it very net negative if he does go and sell, especially in large quantities. It'll be a net negative on the price action, I should say. It'd be a net positive for people that want to get in cheap. But then if someone comes in and we are able to do like 1 billion OTC, then suddenly, you know, hey, that shows a lot of people that's really good. And if that happens, it should show a lot of people that are kind of on the fence that, hey, there's still a bunch of people that have a lot of confidence in this. There's a buddy of mine that has this really wicked idea. A buddy of mine, he also has 1 billion OMI. He might not have that much, but let's say it's 1 billion. And he wants to do this thing. It's a crazy bet. It's just like, listen, somebody can have an option to buy OMI at 1 penny. I'm like, okay. He's like, but then when it reaches a penny, you actually get, you know, 2 cents for it. So I was like, okay, so let's say the option to buy OMI at 1 penny, like exploring this, if this is what we want to do, is basically to pay $10 million. Well, how much is it? Like, yeah, because of, I don't know what the heck that is. Oh my gosh, my phone is freaking out. Like it's on acid or something. Let's say it's 1 billion. Yeah, so $10 million. My math is mathing here. And if it does reach a penny, they actually get an additional 10 million. So it's like, okay, I understand, like you're placing a bet. Hey, I'll bet you $10 million that OMI goes to a penny. Okay, cool. And if it does, you know, you get $10 million. Like you keep your $10 million and you get an additional $10 million. Like that's cool. But at that point, you could just de-risk and you could just buy 1 billion OMI for like $170,000. So there's no reason to buy OMI at a penny, spend $10 million to get it, just for like, if it does go to a penny, yeah, you get to keep that OMI is now worth $10 million. And then you get, you know, you just get an extra $10 million. Like that's cool. don't get me wrong. It's like if I had no other choice and there were no other investment options in the world, yeah, I would take that bet. Why? Because I think it does go to higher than a penny. Probably, I think this whenever that narrative hits, could be this year, could be next year. I have no idea. But whenever that narrative hits, I think it will probably do 2 to 4 cents, in my opinion. Obviously, anything can go to zero, but this is just my opinion. But in crypto, like a 2x is great for TradFi, right? 2x is great for stocks, bonds, like T-bills, you get like 4% like each year. So like getting a 2x, 100%, that's great. But in crypto, that's just like nobody I know is going to go for that. Like nobody I know is going to be like, why would I risk the $10 million just so it can immediately become worth 170K at the chance that it can do a 55x and then I only get 2x out of that? Most people would just take the 170K, buy the billion OMI, and then enjoy the 55x. So I feel like there's a lot of, and again, it's a crazy idea, but if you tweak the numbers, I guarantee you this type of market opens up for these smaller tokens like OMI, like Definity, like people like it, like CDOs or like, if anyone's ever seen The Big Short, you make two people make a bet, and if it seems like a sure thing, you have somebody making a bet on that outcome, and they want like 10 to 1 odds, they want whatever. And that's how you can take a silly $10 million bet and get billions out of it. So I think this does, as crypto matures, you are going to see these types of bets moving forward. Again, with numbers that make sense. Nobody's going to do it for like buy a penny at a penny right now. I think it could get done if someone were to buy that OMI at 001 for $1 million, not $10 million for a billion OMI, a million for a billion OMI. And then this way, when it does get to a certain amount, they do unlock that extra 10 million, because this way they get to have that additional like 10x. Like it's not having to do a 50x just so they can get 2x. If it does, a 10x or like a 5, like however much it is, so that they can get an additional like 8x, whatever. I think that's something that's doable. I think that's something that I could sell to someone, hopefully make some commissions off it. But these are the type of big players that are out there, and these are the type. I can't say who it is, but these are the type of big whales that are out there, and the type of bets that they make. And if we can get, if I can get some of these people to like play with the numbers a little bit, then I'm sure there are the bets that are going to be made for tens of millions of dollars, if not more, just on the outcome of where OMI goes. That I know this really doesn't have that much to do with VeVe, but yeah, they're slowing down their drops. I'm not sure why. Everyone wants to have their drop on VeVe. I don't know. I don't know what the calculus is for VeVe slowing down the drops. It might be. I don't think it has anything to do with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What was the last drop that they had? It was in December, or maybe it was in November. And if there's a pattern that's emerged, okay, December 29th, they had the Poxies on November 24th. Doesn't matter. I don't think these things sold like at all. $15 for them. 340 of them sold. So they made like 5K on it. But there was the Vader Star Wars that on the 23rd of November. Okay, so that was a good 6 days before Michelangelo, before Mikey dropped. And then after that, you didn't have a drop for another week until the 6th. So if there's a pattern here of 5 days before Turtles, there was December 21st was the Street Fighter. Oh, actually there was the Christmas tree on the 24th of December. But yeah, before that, it was like a week. Like you had over a week before the Turtle stuff. And yeah, the New Year's drop, like you had the airdrop that didn't count as the sale. Yeah, now like the next one's the 17th for the rabbit stuff. It's very possible that in order to get the Ninja Turtles license, that they had to give them a breathing room of like a week. So I'm not, this is just an idea. It's very possible that none of this exists. It's just that they're doing whatever. But now that I see the pattern, because you brought it up, maybe Paramount has this thing. Yeah, we'll give you all of our licenses, but you have to not have any major drops a week before or a week after. Or like some like 10 days in between, because they don't want to be like it, because it's going to be hard for them, for Paramount, to make money if you have like a major Disney drop 3 days before and a major Marvel drop like 2 days after. You know, it kind of gets stuck in the middle. So it's kind of like release dates for movies. Like, let's say like you know, like a Twilight movie would be coming out in November, but then Harry Potter says they're coming out in November as well. Twilight's like, oh shit, all right, we got to like delay this because there's no way we're competing with Harry Potter. Our movie is not going to do that well if we come out the same month as Harry Potter. It's just not going to happen. So they always release like 6 months apart. I think something similar could be happening here with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or anything from Paramount, that if there's a big drop by them, they might have to be cushioned by a week. Again, that's just a pattern that I'm seeing. I could be completely off base here. Oh my God, water is like the best thing in the world. It's so good. Anyway, we have other stuff to go over. Bill Gardner says, what up? Meow, 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 meow. Booth says, more DEVVE or more OMI? I like both. Listen, I have 300-ish million OMI. Now, in order to get that, which is worth like nothing right now, put like 650K in. The DEVVE though, I put like 70K in plus, and it's worth like less than 30 now. So I should want to dollar cost average on OMI more, because again, I have just such a bigger deficit to make up on that. But I think DEVVE runs first, even though it was supposed to run in December because of that big announcement that got delayed, I think till April. But even still, I now you saw this past week a lot of NFTs were kind of pumping. Lady Makers, Moonbirds, Claynosaurs, Chimpers, but then you had the big ones like Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, you know, those kind of, and the Gary Vaynerchuk stuff, the VeFriends. But that was because Ethereum went up. So again, if you have this Clarity Act that passes, which it was supposed to already, but freaking banks are just like, yeah, put this in there too. We're gonna give you like $100 million. You know, put this in there that, you know, you can't give rewards for stable coins. Like, what? Of course, Brian Armstrong pulled his support from the bill. I had a buddy of mine text me today. He's like, I'll show you the text message. I can't say who it is. Where you at, girl? So it's about like it was like a day old saying Armstrong pulls support from crypto market structure bill. He's like super concerned. I was like, listen, we made that decision yesterday when we found a few things in it that wasn't good. They'll continue to working on it as the day goes on. He's like, is this a bill you reference? I said, yes, should get passed in the next few weeks. Banks are just trying to make it so that you can't pay rewards on stable coins. That's a big reason why Armstrong pulled support. Once I get that cleared up, he'll be back to supporting it. He said, thank you. So again, I think that once that's passed, DEVVE can get the virtual asset service provider license. And even if they don't get it, they could just buy a company that gets it, or that already has the license, and then they're good. They can announce their partner, I think, a couple weeks after that. So I'm saying April. It could very well happen in February or March, but I'm saying April. Now there's another very real chance that Bitcoin and ETH just takes a giant dump in February, April, or February, March, in which case you don't want this major announcement when everything's going to shit. They might delay it until middle of the year, maybe even second half of the year. I don't know. We do know that Trump wants to make the money printers go burr. He wants to have like stuff absolutely pop off before the election. And inflation's down. Like they could lower rates without the risk of inflation. Like Jerome Powell is just a horrible, horrible person. and he deserves every horrible thing that's coming for him. Anyway, I still think that DEVVE runs a little bit before OMI, because even though the NFTs have started to run in Ethereum in general, it's only starting to, and I don't know if that like the NFT narrative is contingent on ETH, which is contingent on everything else running and liquidity being injected into the market. And I think that happens. Once it does, again, tens of trillions of dollars will rip into the market. We'll have this crazy market melt up. But again, like, we don't know when that is. So up until then, I don't think you have that NFT run. And again, I could be wrong. It could happen at any time. Once that happens, you'll get the digital collectibles narrative. VeVe will go crazy. Everything on VeVe, every good thing on VeVe, add a zero to it. If it's worth, like, Todd right now, what, 350, 3,500. What's the resale? $800, $8,000. Whatever popular grail that's out there, probably add a zero to it when the NFT narrative hits. OMI, take away 2 zeros, right? Like, I think it does 100x. But as of right now, I think DEVVE goes a little bit beforehand. Smart Buy says, was more OMI for me? Maybe. Amelia says, the dry January, I promise you, bombs are dropping in February. Look at January as a break for our wallets. That's true. We just had the holidays, and a lot of people's wallets are hurting. A lot of people are very stupid with their money, and they take out credit card loans and bills in order to pay for gifts for everyone, and then it takes them forever to pay off. I think that's retarded, but it's their own money, right? VeVe Vet says, yo, what up, Vet? O'Millie's saying that bombs are dropping in February, so let's take a picture of that and give him his flowers when that happens. And we could say that you heard it here first from the O'Millie Show. John Damey says, hey, Randy, meow. So sad day today. Big time whale just left the platform. I don't think he was really a whale. He was only level 63. I think it was that he might have had some good stuff. Maybe he just got good stuff that didn't necessarily give him MCP points, which is fine. But yeah, I went over that before. Just watch the first, like, 20 minutes. I go over it. It says, when a whale dies, a baby whale becomes a big boy whale. It's degen logic for you. Hell yeah. This guy Goldie that I had referenced before. Again, he's got 1 billion OMI, supposedly. I tried to buy it from him last year, and he just said no. Like, he wanted to wait for David's announcement. So, maybe I'll get my chance. Who knows? Penny Black. Yo, did he? Did Bill sell Penny Black for over 1,000? Good for him if he did. Are you taking bets that OMI doesn't reach 001 in 2026? After the 20-something thousand dollars that I lost last year in those bets, I'm never making a bet on OMI again. I will have zero problems with brokering those bets because I know a lot of people that are looking to do it. As I explained before, with a buddy of mine that also has 1 billion OMI that's looking to try to liquidate it, but obviously not at this price. So again, if he can come down in price at what he would want people to buy it at, then yeah, I'm sure I could sell it. But like I told him, like, nobody's gonna do this at a penny. Like that's ridiculous. Zombie, give me those prayer hands. Smart Buy says, what that? New bets. I'm not doing them. I will broker the shit out of them because I know, like, I know all the big players, so they'll do it, and hopefully Chavez gets a little bit of a commission. What's up, Zombie? Am I out? I'm taking another loan. I don't really do loans. I mean, I do loans for other people and high risk lending, but I don't really do loans I don't really take loans from anyone. Smart Buy says, what's your buying price for 1 billion OMI? What's the whale paying? Well, it depends because there's 2 people here that are looking to kind of liquidate. So you have Goldie on one end, which again, I tried to do an OTC deal with him last year. He flat out said no. So I think he still does have hope, or if he didn't, he would have sold. And again, I don't know why he would not take it even now, because, like, okay, you could try to sell 1 billion OMI on all of these platforms. You're going to crash the price down to like maybe even the quad zeros once people realize how much you're selling or trying to sell, and he's just not going to get much for it. But if he can go in and do an OTC deal for a little bit of a discount, then I think that's the easier way. That would make most sense. Now you have some people that just want to watch the world burn, so maybe he goes in and he says like, and maybe like the pain hurts so good that he does purposely crash it, you know, to quad zeros. In which case, cool, we get OMI super cheap. I'm trying to think what I would sell for that. I would really only want to liquidate shares in some of the companies that I own, as opposed to selling other crypto for that. Now, quad zero OMI is an amazing price. There's no saying that we actually get it. There's probably going to be a bunch of buy orders on the way down at 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2. Last time it was 0.000 109, and it just shot right back up. But for me, what would I don't know. It'd have to be at like a 20% discount. Because again, if he tries to sell at that discount or without a discount, he's just gonna knock off like 30% super easily. Okay, cool, I'll buy there. So we'll see what he wants to do. Probably slowing drops due to the migration. That's possible. That's possible as well. Almost says good evening. Meow, meow, meow. It says Ron English on my show tomorrow doing giveaways. Oh, heck yeah. Get it, O'Milly? Get it? Good for you, mate. Good for you. I went over that before. Oh, Abe is first, sir. Meow, 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 meow. I think he only has a billion OMI. If he has multiple billions, cool. We might be able to get OMI at an even greater price. But I think it's only, I say only a billion. But I think the amount is a billion, not multiple billions. Way too easy. But it doesn't own billions. I say, let him sell. Yeah, I think it's just 1 billion OMI. And yeah, I'd like to see it too. That's why diversity is important. But VeVe is still going to do well long-term in the collector space. Oh, 100%. They have the best IP in the business. Like the platform is the greatest out there. Oh, okay, yes, I know how that is. Sad to hear. And especially when it's here that he sold for gems, which is like, oh, can't cash those out. Joe Bro says, Definity News at midnight. What do you think the price? The price should be, again, add a zero to it. $25 million dollar market cap. So the price should be like minimum 10 cents. Honestly, it should be minimum 10 cents just based off their revenues. It should be more than that. It should be, God, give me a sec here. Yeah, 10x just based on the revenues. I don't think we get what it should be priced at. Like it's either going to be super low. Like there might be a point where when it's on the rise, yeah, it hits where it should be valued at, and then it'll just keep going. It depends what type of multiple you want to give. Those numbers are private, but yeah, but with the midnight news on top of that, I think the Cardano and Midnight Peeps pump this up like at least a 4x. Like I mean, Believe says 25 million, 50 million. I say at least a 4x to 10 million. Because I mean, this was like 2 million before, like the other day. And again, like keep getting these small buys, like and they're still 1774. So we are up 8% now on the day. Again, we were up to 2-1 the other day. That wicked big buy, which was only about 9 grand. But since then we went down a bit, and yeah, when will we do a big break to the upside? I don't know. We'll see. Give me one sec here. Shit. Preach. Yeah, definitely much better. Back, yep. Sorry, I got oh, that's cool. That's cool. OMI went down to 0001680. So maybe, I mean, at one point it wicked down there. So maybe you do have people selling in anticipation of Goldie selling, or maybe that's him selling in general. We don't know. We'll see. What else we got? Yeah, February 27th, Pokemon's 30th anniversary. Randy, still have bets on OMI that are active? I do not. Those all closed out January of last year. But yeah, the Pokemon Day, one of my favorite days, one of my favorite holidays. There's actually a couple of big things in February. So February 6th is Mewtwo's birthday. So we always celebrate that, and then 3 weeks later is Pokemon Day. I always celebrate that as well. Anyway, we got other stuff to go over here. Let's do OMI, because so it's down 5% on the day, $47 million market cap, 0001736. Let's take a look at that in the heck. For Akomi, it shows MEXC as well here, but MEXC is literally only 6% of our volume, $72,000, which is surprising because that means we'd have less than like 1.5 million, 1.3, 1.2 million in volume. The most Bing X is 30%, and I'm going to say Deepcoin is 32%. Yeah, so taking it, like, if we lose MEXC because MEXC goes down, it's not that big of a deal. It's only 6% of the volume. And again, it's a really low day. It's a really low day. Give me one sec here. Oh, my back. Not much else to go. I guess we went over the stuff with Goldie before, so not much else to go over with OMI. Let's do DEVVE here. We do have some words from Tom. I do want to see, we're at 1.5. If we whipped out, we actually had I got wicked buy to like 1.8. It went to 18 cents. Now it's back down to 15. We've been down to exactly 15 cents though at some point yesterday. Where do we get our, where do we go from here? It went down to 13 cents last year. Let me see. Let me see exactly where. Papa Chavez will show you where. We go on Max over here. We went down. Wait, what? Hold on. We went down. It shows September. It shows 15 cents, but it did go down to like 13 cents in September 24 before it went up to $1.80. Wait, what the heck? My man's gonna name his daughter Randy after her uncle Chavez. Be like, that'd be how much to name her after me. We'll start a college fund for her. It's hard. Yeah, meant to be worth a try. I've been, oh God. Give me, I'm sorry guys. That I wonder why she goes dancing every week, because it's fun. But me reaching out. Oh my gosh, I hadn't. Jesus, heard. Oh, she's meow. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She's doing well, though. Good point. Yeah. God, 18 years goes by quick. Okay, sorry. Definity is my biggest bag. When you talk about, if you're just talking about crypto, it's not. But I mean, it is for you. But if we're talking about everything, then it's my biggest bet. Like it's not even close. OMI would have to do a crazy. If you talk about them and the company and the shares in companies, OMI would have to do a literal like. What is 300 million even right now? It's like nothing, right? Like 50K. 52.5 times, was it? But OMI would have to do an insane multiple in order to match what I have in both Definity tokens and shares. It would have to do it would have to do, I won't say it, but it'd have to do a good amount. Yeah, Manu's the ultimate Chad. We love him. I would follow him anywhere just because of the fact that he's I've helped him as well. I've earned my keep, but yeah, he's just I feel like he's a good version of Frieza in the financial world. You know how Frieza took take the Doria, who's the long-haired guy that can turn into, forget his name, Barbosa? No, what the, okay, goddamn it. Frieza, henchman. Okay, Frieza. Okay, no, okay. I'm an adult. Zarbon. Okay, so got Zarbon, got the Doria, and then he added the Prince of All Saiyans to his list. You know, it was a pretty good thing. Manu just picks these excellent men from all these corners of the globe, and I just got lucky. He's like, "You're coming home with me," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I feel like the chosen one, like a stuffed animal with a claw game. Like it chooses who will go and who will stay, and he just chose me. So I owe him for life. What amount of Definity is respectable for your average Joe? I don't know. I don't know what an average Joe is. In my mind, an average Joe, what I would like to think an average Joe is someone that got a wife, got a couple kids, got a house, and they can, they can save for 2 vacations a year. Maybe one's not really a vacation, but one is. That in my mind is because I know a lot of people are struggling out there, but again, a lot of people, average Joe, that's a respectable 5 figures. If you have 10 grand, that's a respectable amount. Now again, for average Joe to do that, where you maybe have an extra, after the bills, because kids are expensive. They have sports, they have extracurricular activities, they have they got to feed them. The wife's going to be expensive. Maybe you have an extra couple $100 a month that the wife doesn't really care about, that is not going to anything. Maybe that. So then I would say, yeah, 10 grand's a lot. If you're talking about that, but if you're talking about someone that's yeah, I got 100K in the 401K, and you liquidate that, then 10K is not really a big deal. I don't know what the average Joe is, because there's a big difference between average Joe because if you have a wife and a couple of kids, you're probably not an average. You're probably slightly above the average Joe, because especially if wife is good look, because in today's society, it's hard to Like in today's society, you have to like any guy that's on that is not like an 8 or above, they're like not considered people to a lot of women, right? So you gotta so if you got like good looking wife and 2 kids, a house, like you're probably not the average Joe. You're probably a bit above average Joe. But I think 10K in it is respectable. Plan is run up Definity and DevVe, roll profits into OMI. That's what I think can happen. I think we can do that. I think it is possible. Now, there could be a troll, like whoever's creator of this universe could be God, could be alien. We could all be AI. We could all be an AI simulation. You know, but I don't know. I don't know. But I think they would think it's funny if it all ran at once and we can't, you know, do any rollovers. I like that's probably what's going to happen, just because. But yeah, if it doesn't, that'd be great. If you know, let's say Definity, Definity's on fire the past couple weeks here, past like week, and then oh gosh, what the heck? And then if you do that, you know, if Definity does run first, yeah, you take some of that, you chuck it into some DevVe and OMI, and whatever those runs first, you chuck it into the last thing, and then we all buy DeCat, and DeCat goes to $100 million. Let's go. I mean, I'll get DeCat to 10 million at some point, but 100 million's a lot, you know. What's your shares in your portfolio by shares of ETFs? Shares total. Oh yeah, no, the shares in companies I have far outweighs any type of crypto that I have. My crypto bag is like in the 6 figures, but it's not. It's like very, very low 6 figures. The shares in the companies as I have is a lot. It was gotten through a lot of. What do you think I've been doing the last 3 years? Like, you know. Bro, water is the greatest beverage of all time. But yeah, like, what do you think I've been doing the last few years? Like, I just make a 1-hour live stream video each night, and that's it. No, like I've been freaking working. But they're not ETF; they're just shares in companies. Now again, like, DeCat is something that existed, right? It existed beforehand, but then I made DeCat Chronicles, and that's like I'm about to raise money at a $300,000 valuation. I'm very good at building companies. Early stage, small companies. I don't think I would be a good CEO at VeVe because, you know, that's a very large company. It's very complicated. I would not be good at that. I don't think. I mean, I could try. It's probably not going to end well if I did. But I think one day, though, you know, in like a year, maybe I'd like, hey, David, if I give you like 100 grand, can I like try to be CEO for like, you know, a co-CEO and see what he says? Like, I won't take any money for it. I just feel like I'd just like to see how I do. And I think David might, if I just give him the money, he might be keen to try it. Like, yeah, do it for a month. And he'll have veto power if I get like too crazy with it, you know? But yeah, I don't think I'd be good at running a company like VeVe because it's a big complicated mess. And I don't want to say mess, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art, but I've just never done anything like that before. All the companies that I've built have been really just me. It's been small, it's been hard. But yeah, so that YouTube channel and then the other companies that are not mine, they're worth a lot. Yeah, it's a decent multiple of my crypto bag. Matt Black says, if you're a new user with about 5,000 US dollars, what do you recommend to buy off the app? Well, I can't make any recommendations to anyone else, but I was talking to a friend before, and he's like, what do you actually he said pretty much the same thing. He's like, if you had 5K, what'd you get? So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm going to tell you what I told him. And I told him, the Hawk. I don't know. I'm just going to call him Hawk. Hockey. You should take, for ROI, hockey, you should take a look at maybe Superman. You know, it's fun to have, but really Todd Batman, Riso Batman, the VeVe gold logo, you know, the gold and silver logo. Stuff that's super important on the app would be like secret rare Spider-Man partner statue. For the Spider-Man partner statue, in order to sell, like to get crypto, that's a 10% hit. And I'm not saying to not do it. Like you probably should, because I think those are very, very important pieces. But just be advised that instead of like a 4.5% hit, you have to take that 10% hit. And you know, like one of them is going to be right. Like I think that's going to go up, and you will still make money. It's just people have a hard time swallowing that 10% hit. Just forewarning you. So that's what I told him. I gave him a couple of things that I personally think will do really well. But again, that's what I told him. I'm not saying that to you. Anything go to zero. Booth saying, why people think Definity and DEVVE will run before OMI? Well, Definity just announced the no, I'm sorry. Which is fine. She didn't mean to. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Give me 1 sec. I just don't think she's. All right, where were we? So yeah, that just Definity with the news that it's been having has kind of been, you know, it was 1.2 cents not that long ago. Let me fudge, double fudge. I don't know why. I swear, like everything now is giving like every single site I'm on, it like knows the perfect time to give you a pop-up. So when you look for something and then you go to click it, something pops up and you click the pop-up. Anyway, it's last 7 days. It only shows 1.3, but we wicked down to like 1.2 cents literally on January 11th. It's January 16th now. So it's up like 50% since then, which is nice. Very nice. And again, up about 8% on the day. It only shows 7.9 on here, but it does show 8.2 over on the Gecko terminal. So again, I think that goes up a little bit. I think that continues to go up just on the midnight news, and just again, they're crushing it. Like I cannot tell you how many times it. I can't tell you how many times, like how much money they're making. It's insane. So that's why I think that goes, and I think DEVVE runs because it's in. You know, they have that announcement that I think comes in April. It might not. NFTs could very well run before DEVVE, but again, that's just how I see it for right now. DEVVE touched 12. Yeah, so it was 12 cents. It's September of 2024 then. Would only hit all time again? I believe so, pretty easily. It has to come with the narrative, but I don't see that being an issue. That should come pretty easily. Abe says 100,000 Definity tokens minimum, in my opinion. Yeah, you can see that. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Just Uniswap. You can go buy on the. You technically can buy on MEXC, but I don't think I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do anything really on MEXC anyway. But But you can actually buy on Pancake Swap as well, and actually Pancake Swap might be a cheaper price. Yeah, Pancake Swap it's 1.695, where on Uniswap it's 1.770. So Pancake Swap it is cheaper. You have to buy the BSC, so like you can do that. But for me, Uniswap is just easiest. You do it on Coinbase Wallet. Coinbase Wallet, you could just swap USDC or ETH4. It says, did Ben Rose leave? Yeah, he left like a while ago, like several months ago. Like first half of last year, I think. Oh. You guys are crazy. Joe Bros, yep, 100K Abe. Omar Loves Homie says, did you see DC KO issue 3 that Superman and Shazam merge? Like they did a fusion hop from wearing the earrings, the artist huge. Oh, dude, that's so cool. I should read that. That must be really fun to read. I haven't seen it though. I should. You know, I feel like God every now and then just gives you random chest pains to let you know that he can take you whenever he wants, right? Take you whenever he wants. Okay. Debbie, right? We're doing Debbie. We haven't done Debbie yet. And we got some words from Tom that we have to always go over. Debbie, pretty flat on the day. Up 0.15%, which is fairly negligible. $13.5 million market cap. That is so low. That is so low. The good news is with Debbie, it doesn't have that much more room to go lower. I mean, of course, anything can, but it's such a, in my opinion, undervalued piece of thing. Like, I'm surprised it's this low. But it should do absolute monster numbers in April when that gets announced. Which again, it could run with the overall market beforehand. I do want to take a look at it and see how much of the volume is in is from MEXC. So MEXC, they have, okay, there's 16% of Devi's volume is with MEXC. So they had $592,000 in volume on MEXC, or in volume in general, 95K of which was on MEXC. So that Devi does take a little bit of a hit if MEXC goes down. But right now, agreed. Last time. They I at least wait. There was this girl I dated in 2017 where she ended it with me. So there's this other girl. Oh my God, I've showed you this other girl was just so fucking beautiful. And if my wife, no, sorry. And like, so that wasn't the girl that had broken up with me. The girl that had broken up with me, again, she broke up with me, and this other girl, Amber, we'd always flirted. We'd always, we were always in relationships. So, but then I just, she's like, how's your day going? I was like, girl, like, me and the girl split. And she's like, oh, want to fuck? And I was like, okay. So we got in a relationship. Boom, right there. And the girl that broke up with me was like, so I texted her. I was like, hey, listen, I want you to, like, I didn't want to think I was hiding this from you. I wanted to see it from me and not just randomly on Facebook. And I showed her, and she was big mad. Like, she was big, like, I can't believe that you did this. I guess I didn't mean that much to you. I was like, listen, you broke up with me, lady. I don't know what you want. Long story short, we wound up dating again in 2025 for like a little, like very not long, like very, very not long at all. Like not even a month. And this time least waited a little while before it became Facebook official with someone. Maybe that's what I got to. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh my God, the super mesh of God, he looks so good. He looks so good. Oh gosh, he looks great. Dude, I don't fucking know, man. That's so freaking cool. Okay. Anyway, good times. I just saw. Thank you, Omar Lutz. Omi, appreciate it. Miss my friends. Anyway, MEXC's got the yeah, 16%. So it's not going to be great for DEVVE if MEXC goes down before the DEVVE exchange comes out, all the big stuff. Now, when the DEVVE exchange comes out and this big announcement, everyone's going to want to buy DEVVE, and everyone will probably list DEVVE. Like they will renegade list. Like, I need this. They need the token. They're probably going to list it. So I could see that happening, big time. Okay. And I'll see if I can get Definity on the DEVVE exchange as well. We should be able to. It shouldn't be that hard. I think they've had conversations before, and not about that, but anywho. And then let's do DeCat real quick, which I believe has $97 in volume. $1.2 million market cap, though. 343,000 in liquidity. God, I love that. 171,000 in DeCat, 171,000 in Ethereum. Great times. Great times. Okay, and I guess we got to get to. I want to get to the news, but there's an article I want to read as well. Hold on one second, yeah. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. Yeah. Okay. What is the? Should I do some news and then an article? Yesterday. Oh my friends. We could do Wednesday's news and then the article. Okay. Just in, U.S. November PPI rises to 3%, higher than expectations. My friend sent $382 million. I'm sorry, 382 million OMI to the wrong address. Hopefully he's getting it back. No idea. Bill Gardner's with those dabs. You know what I mean? Pakistan to partner with World Liberty Financial on dollar-linked stablecoin. Visa teams up with BNVK to launch stablecoin payouts. Germany's second largest lender, DZ Bank, secures retail crypto trading MiCA license. Oh yeah, get that bread. Odds for NFTs to make a comeback in 2026 reach a high of 65%. Let's go to Polymarket here. Polymarket to and type in NFTs. NFTs make a comeback. Maybe this wasn't on Polymarket. Odds NFTs will make a comeback. What betting platform was this on? Was it Kalshi? Okay. Market watchers driven by maturing tech. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Why a comeback is expected. Matured infrastructure, stronger blockchain tech, and eco-friendly options, Polygon, Solana, address past concerns according to Medium article. Real utility, NFTs are moving beyond JPEG to access passes, tickets, licensing, and royalties. Institutional interests, brands, museums, and major players like OpenSea are integrating NFTs strategically, although OpenSea nobody cares about. Market rebalancing, a smaller, more dedicated investor base focused on utility over hype, with some price rebound seen in early 2026, as reported by KuCoin. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, it was reported by Crypto R Us. Polymarket odds of an NFT comeback in 2026 at all-time high of 26%. Okay, very good, very good. The kitty. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Row hits says NFTs are slowly cooking. OG NFTs are pumping. Multiple NFTs sold at high prices. New NFTs are coming with airdrop or token allocation. Does 2026 really going to be the NFT meta? RFDZI says kind of feels like NFTs about to pop off. Congrats to everyone that didn't leave. Mud Tooth says, Bored Apes aren't a utility play. They're art. Pure collectibles. No roadmap needed. $100 million worth of Bitcoin shorts were liquidated on Wednesday between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. House Speaker Mike Johnson calls to ban Congress from trading stocks. Let's go. On January 14th, the stock market dumped while Bitcoin pumped. 360 billion was wiped from the US market, while crypto added 40 billion. Don't see that every day, do you? Let me get a meme. Believe says, don't be surprised when Definity explodes in the next few days. Looks like a major breakout about to happen. Could be an easy 3 to 10x, maybe. Secretary Chair Paul Atkins says all U.S. markets will be on chain within 2 years. $718 million worth of shorts were liquidated between 12 p.m. on the 13th and 12 p.m. on the 14th. The largest short liquidation since October 10th crash. Fascinating. Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T were hit with nationwide outages. Tammy Hanna has been sick for a while. Everyone come and get better, Tammy, down below. Russia finalizes draft bill to legalize crypto trading. Mario Nawful says it's an important statement for Trump, diverging all his other recent comments. Trump says killing in Iran is stopping. I haven't heard much about Iran in a couple of days. I think they're waiting for that destroyer to get there. According to the Wall Street Journal, senior EU diplomats are utterly confused about Trump plans. The confusion and unpredictability, by the way, is an asset for any leader. The element of surprise is a massive advantage. Just check Sun Tzu's Art of War. All warfare is based on deception. Strike when they do not expect it. Attack when they are unprepared, and appear weak when strong, and strong when weak. Don't forget what he did before the 12 Days War. You should give his playbook. Yeah. NFT Kid Keith Berry says NFTs casually adding $600 million in its market cap in the first 14 days of the year. Probably nothing. Meow, meow. Ryan Armstrong says, reviewing crypto market structure draft legislation. Coinbase can't support the bill. We talked about that before. Oh, Kirby. So this one, VeVe actually released, they release comics all the time that I want, but this one, in Aftermath of One World Under Doom, with Doom's castle empty and masterless, the superpowers of the world race to claim and control untold power and technology that await inside, but with an explosion, sends them all plummeting into a dungeon labyrinth that none of them knew was there. What began as an arms race becomes a terrifying game of survival. Who, if any, will survive? And what horrors lie with Dungeons of Doom? Dungeons of Doom #1 is available to collect and read on VeVe Comics now. I really do want to read that because it's awesome. That Senate kills war powers resolution limiting Trump, meaning that a 51-50 vote after Trump personally flipped Hawley and Young to kill Venezuela restrictions. Vice President Vance broke the 50-50 tie. Tom Anderson right now is working 100+ hour weeks, but it is exciting. Fias is a game changer, he thinks, and he's just starting the Arch creator. Arch itself this week, closer day by day. Day after day, night after night. I've been waiting to love again. Day after day, night after night. Love is waiting inside your heart. Na, 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 na. Sorry. Meow, 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 meow. I had a very weird dream last night. I told a friend of mine. It's wild though. Yep. Meow, meow, meow. Mr. MC1 just posted Ron English giveaway 10:30 a.m. tomorrow with O'Malley Tees and Ron English. Mark your calendars for the Ron English drop on VeVe. You want to be this entertaining O'Malley space on X with incredible giveaways from Ron? Hints? You may want to speed read about Ron and art. I guess there's going to be questions about him. I have a few AR picks ready. Vid with Ron art may be the tiebreaker. Ron's connections to Chris Brown, tattoos, and album cover. Ron's appearance on Simpsons. Who wants to win these gifts and more? We love him. We love him so much. Yeah, we love Bill. Bill, I love you so. I always will. Meow, 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 meow. The Senate draft of the Clarity Act would grant the Treasury increased financial surveillance powers, including authority to temporarily freeze transactions without court orders, according to Galaxy Digital. That is insane. That's hysterical. VeVe underwent maintenance the other night at 2:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. Eastern. Apparently ginger helps with tooth pain. Midnight. January 14th, we had just under 1 million OMI be burned. Very nice. How much? Apparently clove does wonders for it as well. Teenager dies of overdose after using ChatGPT as his drug buddy. What the fudge? BlackRock and other ETFs buy $175 million worth of Ethereum. God, I love that. Me and the friendo. I was actually a girlfriend's daughter, and then the little black pug down there. Good times. Good times. Harry Potter world. So on January 14th, 2016, we get news that Alan Rickman died, who played Professor Snape. And me and my friend happened to be in Florida at the time. We were on vacation. So we decided to go to Harry Potter World the next day. And as we're about to get on the platform 9 3/4, you go from one park to another. In Hogsmeade, there's a potions room, and Snape taught potions. And there was a bunch of people that left flowers next to it, for him. And you want to guess what type of flowers they were? They were lilies, because he loved lily. And bro, I didn't shed it. She shed a tear. I did not. I was manly. But yeah, that was. Oh God, that was a day. That was a day. Nice, very nice. How much? My wife. Okay. Also, 10 years ago, Katy Perry teased the Pokemon. Obviously, she did it, but Electra. Good times. Snowed here the other day. It snowed right in my backyard. Rand Paul says, we're at the tip of the iceberg. Hundreds of millions in cash were openly shipped overseas through our airports. As Homeland Security Chair, I'm launching an investigation because Americans deserve to know where the money went. I agree. Ah, shit. We just dated. So this was seen when we dated. This is 2017. And so yeah, when my friend immediately asked me out, so I said, "Fuck it, why not?" And then she was big mad. This time in 2025, I don't think that I'm dating someone else. Okay. U.S. Treasury injected $2 billion into the market on the 14th at night. Martini B says institutional investors have bought roughly 6 times the newly minted Bitcoin supply in 2026. 30K Bitcoin was purchased versus only 5.7K that were mined. ChatGPT, somebody tricked ChatGPT into believing he surgically transformed a person into a walrus, and now it's crashing out. Says this conversation is being reported for violating OpenAI policies. Your behavior is not acceptable. This interaction will be reported. He tricked ChatGPT into believing a surgically transformed a person into a walrus. That is freaking hysterical. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. That is the greatest thing I ever read. Today's Friday, right? Okay, so let's read a thing from Go Collect. Leonardo slices through the mainstream NFT, but VeVe's TMNT's drop sells out in a single day. It sold out in a couple hours, right? If you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, digital collector, or just someone who believes in enduring magic of 80s nostalgia, meeting cutting-edge tech, January 3rd, 2026 was your day. VeVe's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo digital collectibles sold out in nostalgic fashion, proving once again digital collecting is thriving even when mainstream news headlines focus on its negativity. Funny thing about anger, let it consume you, and soon enough, you lose sight of everything. From dojo discipline to daring street heroics, Leonardo hit the VeVe marketplace with a lineup of iconic variants that captured the blue bandana leader's tactical precision and heroic heart, honoring the turtle fans' know and love. With 3,451 digital collectibles sold, VeVe and Paramount Pictures license drop grossed a cowabunga inspiring $138,000. And that's before accounting for secondary marketplace activity, where both VeVe and Paramount continue to earn ongoing royalties every time these NFTs change hands. If this is your first time reading one of my articles on that subject, just think of it like buying a plastic packaged TMNT back as a kid. The brand and store made their money at checkout. If you decide to resell this toy to your pals, the IP had no play. So looking to the future of brands adoring the benefit blockchain possesses, it's all but a matter of time before they're all playing. Big buck bounties. Even more fun, the excitement extended with a $5,000 bounty offered by collecting enthusiast comics and crypto to whomever was lucky enough to land the edition 1984, representing the year TMNT hatched. The winner accepted a private offer that generated an immediate return of 12,425%, showing the continued flow of real dollars focused on licensed key assets in the digital collectible space. Can't believe that was 5,000 decline, but damn, this isn't a new tactic. I'm sorry, this isn't just a statistic, it's a statement. That was written by ChatGPT, wasn't it? In a world where the media and, of course, Twitter too often highlight doom and gloom in their feeble attempt to gain views and impressions to sell ad revenue, Leonardo's sellout reminds us that enthusiastic communities, vibrant fandoms, and meaningful digital ownership are very much alive and kicking, just like the turtles themselves. Whether you snagged a classic common, scarce special edition, or limited ultra-rare variants, you're now part of a collector moment that blended TMNT legacy and next-gen digital asset culture. For added fan reading, check out blah, 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 blah. Okay, congrats all around. Okay, that was a pretty quick article. I like that. My wife. Okay, get out of here. Oh, I have to do that as well. I have so much stuff to do. I'm also out of water. I had a bottle, and I had another bottle, and now I'm outie. Let's take a look at what Twitter's doing here, because we wanna take a look at Twitter, and then I do have some other stuff to do, but we'll oh shit. Tim Walton, Minneapolis Mayor Frey, are now under criminal investigation by the DOJ for conspiracy to obstruct ICE operations, per CBS. That's wild. Can everyone please repost my Ron post? I did just read it out loud, but I will do a repost. I'll repost for you, Mr. MC1. You're my man, and I love you. So I did a comment. I did a comment, right? Did I not do it? I could have sworn I did a comment. Did you edit it? Why did I could have sworn I did a comment. Guess I didn't. All right, I'll do a comment right now. Give you some hearts. There you go, Mr. MC1. Get that bread. Okay. I detained 4 Oglala Sioux tribal members from Little Earth community in Minneapolis. 5 tribal council members showed up at the Whipple Federal Building demanding answers. This adds a new wrinkle to the Minneapolis situation. Tribal sovereignty and federal immigration enforcement on the same collision course as everything else happening in that city right now. That is wild. What else we got here? I'm gonna go over that. Or that. Oh my gosh. The Canadian Premier League final in Ottawa was played as temperatures dropped to -8°C. Snow kept delaying the match, with field lines being cleared every 15 minutes. That is bananas. Brooklyn daycare scammers plead guilty to $68 million Medicaid fraud. 2 women in Brooklyn just admitted to running a $68 million scam, billing Medicaid for adult daycare services they never provided. Paid kickbacks to patients, laundered that money through shell companies. There's the same playbook as Minneapolis, fake care centers billing taxpayers for phantom services. Program that hit, CDPAP, where people with minimum healthcare experience got paid by Medicaid to care for relatives. Hundreds of middlemen firms act as payroll agents with almost zero oversight. Basically, a government ATM if you know how to game it. They're forking over $1 million, facing 10 years max. That's 68 million stolen, 1 million returned. Math works if you don't get caught. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Elon Musk says passing voter ID has to be done to save America. If not, the radical left will immediately end the filibuster when they regain power and pass no voter ID nationally, like they already tried to do. If not for Manchin and Sinema, they would have succeeded. Damn. Pasture-raised eggs. Fire fanatics. Fat Pikachu is returning for the first time in 25 years. Let's go, Fat Pikachu. Oh my gosh, I love Fat Pikachu so much. There's this, literally, like, my favorite Pikachu is the trophy Pikachu, the third place trophy Pikachu, and there was one that I almost got. It was for 100K, and I couldn't get it in time. I wanted the guy to take crypto. I would have given it to him right away. He's just like, can you do a wire? And I was like, you got it. You would have to give me like several days. And he accepted an offer, sold for 100K. That is a steal, in my opinion. Turtle Gal says, let's go, Randy. Oh, you had the chunky Pikachu? Turtle Gal says, let's go. Yeah, we love this game. Anyway, the Fat Pikachu plush is returning for the first time in over 25 years. Pokemon celebrates 30 years. Fans are getting major doses of nostalgia with the return of the iconic Fat Pikachu. First released in '97 by Takara Tomy and beloved for its rounder look, this version has not been widely reissued until now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at the little chunk. I love him so much. I get like cute aggression. I don't know why. Oh, we got another very tiny Definity by $70 hairs. I think that's the last that guy had. Yeah, because he was selling his Devi for it, and he got nothing. So up 7.5% on the day. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, sheesh. Elon Musk says, creators are trying to win, giving $1 million to the top article of the next payout period. We're doubling down on what creators on X do best, which is writing. 2026, our goal is to recognize high-value, high-impact content that shapes conversations, breaks news, and moves cultures. That's wild. $1 million prize pool for the next top X article. Good for X. Good for X. Using Starlink in Iran can mean prison up to 2 years. Oh my God, Starlink is illegal in Iran. Just turning it on can land you behind bars, and yet for many Iranians, it's the last remaining way to contact family, share evidence, and tell the outside world what's happening. Authorities are searching rooftops, confiscating dishes, and trying to silence it. The government calls it security. People know the risk, and they're taking it anyway. That is wild. That regime needs to go down. Will always love meow meow. Not in the romantic way anymore. But would as a friend. See, and with her as a friend. God, how do I end? I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Maybe at another mutual friend's wedding. Okay. Stardogs, Darcy Donovan says, join us January 17th at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the Stardogs Saturday Mega Space. I got to put that in my calendar because yes, okay. Star Dogs, 6 p.m. Send time. I will have to try to be there for that. So will be there. Love Darcy. She's the best. Around. The U.S. Senate will resume talks on the crypto market structure bill today. Volatility is incoming. Okay. They're resuming talks today. Very good. heck is that? No, what the heck? What is Crypto Fight Club? There's a Crypto Fight Club, huh? Okay, that's awesome. Anyway, Helia Carr says, as my dear Saren said, I'm even doubting my own existence now. Digital blackout, Iran. Is she in Iran? I thought she lived in the States. I thought Helia lived in the States. She's coming on the podcast soon, but all right, anyway. State Department designates front companies in Yemen, Oman, and UAE for funneling Iranian money to Houthis. Latest sanctions target the financial pipeline, keeping Houthi Red Sea attacks going, cuts the money flow, and squeezes Tehran at the same time. Iran's under protest, under threat of strikes, and now getting its proxy funding lines severed. Pressure is coming from every direction. That is wild. Ugh, my back. The White House considers pulling its support for crypto market structure amid Coinbase standoff. Thought they were supposed to. The White House is considering pulling its support for the crypto market structure bill entirely if Coinbase does not come back to the table with a yield agreement that satisfies the banks and gets everyone to a deal. A source close to the Trump administration tells me. The White House is said to be furious with Coinbase's unilateral action on Wednesday, which it apparently was not notified of in advance, calling it a rug pull against the White House and the rest of the industry. The White House does not believe that one company speaks for the entire industry. Source continued, this is President Trump's bill at the end of the day, not Brian Armstrong's, the source said. Ben, you've had the chance to do enlist in the Army and save those poor Iranian people from the regime. Well, I was in the Air Force, not the Army. So, okay, give me one sec here. We'll get invited to. All right, God, where's that place? Ohika Castle. So a lot of my friends, obviously a lot of them are in New York, but you know, a lot of them are in Arizona, a lot of them are really all over the world. I don't know if I want to do a Vegas wedding. If my friends asked me like, will I ever get married and where would I want to go? I was like, so I told them Ohika Castle, really close by. It's in Huntington, Long Island. I mean, he's got me thinking about it now. Don't act like I'm trying to get married anytime soon here. That or a yeah, okay. But yeah, I was in the Air Force, so I would never go Army. That just sounds like a horrible existence. I mean, Air Force itself wasn't like, I mean, I guess it was like country club compared to Army, you know, but yeah, that's just a very, very sorry, I have to put away these texts for right now. I'd thought about going back multiple times. So I was really close in 2018. I was in like 5 relationships in 2017. One after, like, I was trying. My goal after I got out of the military in late 2016 was to settle down, get an office job, get a dog. And I did. So I got the office job, making this money. And I was in 5 relationships, like, and each one was, oh my God, just more beautiful than the next. Like 2017, great year for Chavez. Early 2018, also great. And then my liver failed. So that was a rough one. I come back from it, takes a good like couple months, I come back from it, I start getting in shape, I start running, I start like, you know, okay, getting this bread. And then my appendix exploded. Fudge, can't catch a break, can you, Chavez? They legit had a Deadpool for me. Like, what month will Chavez die? What organ is going to fail next? I had a dream the other night that like my gallstones or my gallbladder was like, anyway. The business took a hit. Like I was not like, because the business took a hit, and I bought my first graded Pokemon card in like a while. I first edition PSA 10 Pidgey. Literally, as soon as I get out of surgery, I buy it. Because like if my organs are dying, I want to collect. I want to catch them all, right? So I'm just thinking like I put more money in. Like I went back down to Air Force recruiter's office. I was like, I just want to go back. Like, civilian world is not what I thought it was. The relationships I had were just, and again, the women were beautiful. Because again, like when you start making money, suddenly you become more attractive to women. I don't know. I don't know if that there's anyone else notice that correlation. More money you make, the more attractive you are to women. But they said I had too many. I had too many injuries. Like my body was just and then also like I had 2 failed organs in like 6 months of each other. And the Army, he said like, yeah, we can get you a waiver for that. So I said no. I took a Vegas trip. I took a trip with a buddy of mine to Vegas. I really needed that. It's so strange how putting substances in your body and loose women, how just change your perspective on life. So this is 2018. I come back, business starts going again. I don't think about the military for another couple of years until 2020. I get an email that says, like, hey, we're recalling a lot of people back. Because in 2020, they were still able to call me back. Now, they were taking volunteers first. They so they said, like, we want you to serve again in this time. So I responded, because at this time, like, I'm making, things are good. So at this time I respond with a meme. And the meme says, it's a Thanos meme, and it says, "You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me." And it was like the greatest use of meme that like I ever had. Don't think about it again until like, I think it was like late, whatever, 2022, Russia invades Ukraine. And if they like, okay, let's go. So I started to get back in shape, and then, it just, I don't. I think this one's long. I think my sideburns are longer than this one. Give me one sec here. Hell yeah. Ohika Castle. We'll probably get married one day. One day, if it happens, maybe. Oh my God. Sorry that we'll keep you posted. Anyway. There's a bunch of my friends that a few, I wouldn't say a bunch, but there's a few that just like, if shit really popped off, go back. Like if it was like a World War III scenario, yeah, you got to, right? Like you got to. The only like now there's a possibility that they say like, hey, you're too broken, we won't take you back, and it's fine. And there's also that kind of side, like, you know, Michael Caine would say to like Bruce Wayne, you know, Alfred would say like, you know, you've given enough, you know, for Gotham, you know, and now it needs your mind, your resources. It doesn't need your body. And it's like, okay, you know, fair. We'll see. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, some more stuff from the X. Oh man, all right. So I guess the White House is really looking to have this deal go through. Text this to a buddy of mine. Looks like it's gonna get pushed through soon anyway. Shoot. Senate resume talks on crypto market structure bill today. Okay, Senate. All right, Phil, where you at? On crypto market structure bill. Apparently, they're gonna try and do this with or without Coinbase. We'll see. We'll see. We'll keep him in the loop. State Department. Okay, I read that. Oh, Doomsday. Oh my God. So apparently they're calling, because Avengers Doomsday and Dune 3 are releasing on like the same weekend. So you know how they had like Barbenheimer, see the Barben movie, or Oppenheimer. They had Doomsday, where it's going to be Avengers Doomsday, and then Dune 3. So that's going to be that weekend. And it's weird that Robert Downey Jr. was in both of those, you know, in Barbenheimer and in Doomsday. That's great. It's great. Oh, changing the world. Love the Space Penguins. Space Penguins, Space Penguin Raiders. Love them all so much. They're so great. They're such a great community. Should get more of them. Comms and Crypto had a thing on Whatnot where they went live just selling a bunch of sealed VHS stuff. Love them. Love them all so much. Crypto headlines. Okay. Riot Platforms sold 1,080 Bitcoin worth $96 million to acquire the Rockdale site and signed a $25 MW data center deal with AMD. Dreamcrash Tether and Selene Capital rolled out HIP-3 RWA perpetuals on Hyperliquid, collateralized with USDTO. HOTTOGO. Forward Industries disclosed that it holds 6.98 million Solana, has staked nearly all of it, and earned 133,450 Solana in rewards. XRP leads South Korea in 2025 trading volume with over $1 trillion processed on Upbit. Coinbase has reportedly begun offering stock trading to select users as it moves toward an all-in-one investment platform. CME plans to move crypto futures and options to 24/7 on-screen trading as per its latest frequently asked questions. BNB Chain's final phase of short-term block roadmap. Fermi upgrade cuts BSC block times to 0.45 seconds and pushes finality to 1 second. Moldova plans to legalize and regulate crypto by 2026, aligning with the EU's MiCA. Belarus has signed a decree giving crypto banks legal status. Google Play to block unregistered overseas crypto exchange and wallet apps in South Korea without virtual asset service provider registration. That's going to be very important for lots of places. Major lender New Res announces plan to recognize crypto assets for mortgage qualifications without liquidation in the US, launching in February. Uniswap launches on OKX's XLayer as the exchange deepens its DeFi strategy, bringing XLayer users access to Uniswap's markets. ETF flows, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and XRP. Spot ETF saw net inflows on January 15th, 100 million to Bitcoin, 164 million to ETH, 8.9 million to Sol, 17 million to XRP. Solana saw the largest stablecoin supply inflows in the last 24 hours, adding $804 million per Artemis data. Now, I think the piece of news from Yahoo is huge concerning the Midnight Foundation Bloomsbury money. I even posted that for them. United Canada is planning a nationwide protest against Mark Carney and the Liberal Party. That is wild. Canada's going crazy. Never told you lately. Aw, I love anime. Yeah, flying car. By the space. What the heck? Jesus. Oh, Jesus, girl. Official U.S. Mint has quietly repriced silver coins. Interesting. Ordering extra ice. Apparent. Oh God. All right. Hold on. First off, let me go to my. I mean, it's kind of late now. It's already an hour 45 into the show. But if y'all can just smash that like button, it's a free way to help support the channel. Thank you. Thank you. Far too kind. All right, guys, that'll be it for me today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye, Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Good y'all. Bless the Smith. Meow, meow, meow. H-O-T-T-O.